The Lord be with you and your loved ones as we continue our reflection upon the Catechism, which is the summation of the Church's teachings. On Saturday evening, I attended the march that was organized here in Altoona to speak up against racial injustice and to proclaim the words of Paul VI, who said, "If you want peace, work for justice." And what struck me about that gathering, of that peaceful gathering, as I met different pastors from different denominations, was that our call to live a moral life, our call to live the gospel, transcends religious differences. Fundamental even to those without any faith at all is the conviction that we are to love one another and treat everyone with dignity. The moral life, as described in the Catechism, is built upon that foundation. In fact, if I can share a few words, we find in the Gospels the young man who comes to Jesus and says, "Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life?" And to this Jesus replies, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind and strength. Follow the commandments and love your neighbor as yourself." It is hard to speak of the moral life without speaking of that code of life that transcends denominations. Certainly there are significant differences that the Catholic Church has from other churches, perhaps regarding same-sex marriage or abortion or birth control. But generally, when we look at the churches in the Christian life, we are called to live the gospel, and the moral life which is proclaimed in the Catechism takes each one of the commandments and says, these commandments are part of a natural law. They flow from who we are as persons, from our relationship to a transcendent God, to the importance of honoring a sacred day in the week when we are to give honor to God. Those first three commandments for us are all about our relationship with God. How there's a moral responsibility because God has given us everything that we want to give back to Him, that we want to honor His name and honor His day. The Catechism then goes on to explore the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments that, after the three talk about our relationship with God, the next seven talk about our relationship with one another. The need for respect for others. I think that's what was so evident in all of the protests that were given, apart from the rowdy few that saw it as an occasion to violence. It was really a challenge to our communities to learn the basic human gift of compassion and acceptance of the other, which is the foundation of all of our sacraments. To love our family, to respect human life, to be faithful to the sacrament of marriage, to respect that gift of human sexuality, which is so much a part of who we are. The seventh commandment tells us, of course, that we shall not steal. In fact, every commandment, in a way, is about not stealing from God his dignity, not stealing from God his day that is His, not stealing the affection of a spouse, of another person's spouse, stealing someone's reputation, stealing someone's property, everything we're taking to ourselves. Those seven commandments are all about, let's be aware that when we are taking from another, we are stealing and not practicing that gift of keeping respect for others at the heart of our faith. So the Ten Commandments, carved in stone by the Lord Himself, as we're told in the book of Exodus, serve as a foundation for our understanding of living the moral life. Each one of them, as we read through the Catechism and the Gospels, is spelled out in the teachings of Jesus. Only a couple times does he make reference to the Ten Commandments, but he is always preaching about the dignity of other persons, about the beauty of the commitment to justice and mercy, that we, in living the Christian life, are to respect the dignity, the ultimate dignity of every human person whom we come in contact with. This really is the heart of the Ten Commandments and the heart of this third pillar of the Catholic Catechism, the moral life. May God bless you as you live the moral life in this world. May God bless you and your loved ones.